Hello, Internet, and welcome to another episode of Chariots of the Pods. I forget the episode number, but we're getting there. We've done several of these so far. It is I, your host of the pods, Adam, joined as always by the SG team leader under me. Probably should have said that better. Anyway, here's Tyler.
Salutations.
And the Shova of the podcast, we have Jason.
I hate to break it to you guys, but I have to extract your nanomachines soon. So just, bide your time. Or wait, what's the word? I don't know. There's words.
Oh boy, we'll get to that. And then our special guest star of the week, we have Justin.
Hi. Hello. I don't want my brain lobotomized for bad plot purposes.
What about
we'll get to
plot
it.
Purposes? Okay.
No, there aren't really any. Listen, I don't. We'll get to it.
We'll get there eventually. But first, we have to go through the first few episodes in this batch. This week, we're talking about Season 3 of the Stargate SG-1, Episodes 3 through 6. Starting with the third episode of the series, mind you, the one immediately after Seth. Fair game. Who wants to summarize this episode?
I guess I'll do it for once.
Yeah.
So, simply put, this episode is all about space UN between the Earth, the Asgard, and the Goa'uld. And they're here to strike a formal treaty that all three sides will honor and obey and not try to find devious loopholes in. And come to find out, the Goa'uld are in a pretty good position, but because of Goa'uld antics, they end up sabotaging themselves, and all the additional concessions they were trying to extort from SG Command end up falling through, and we learn that the Goa'uld don't even really like each other or get along all that well.
So you're saying that we end at the status quo?
Yeah, we end exactly where we started, which is the point of the UN.
It's not quite the status quo, but we'll get to that part. Well, I guess were you going to continue summarizing, or
no? That's all I really had.
Because the end result of this whole episode is the Goa'uld agreeing that they won't invade Earth, but anything that happens on the other side of the Stargate is fair game, one might say.
Which is basically was status quo to begin with.
Before that, there was no agreement to not invade Earth.
But they tried to invade Earth, and they just got...
They tried. They lost.
Well, Apophis tried, and then got infiltrated. Like a chump. And then he got by Sokar like a chump. Because Apophis was the chump of the System Lords, apparently.
Yeah, one might say he got, or something of the sorts.
Yes. Maybe we will see that they keep bringing back Apophis just to kill him again for funsies.
It could be that way. But yeah, we get introduced to 3 new Goa'uld here, right? So what is there? There's the
There's Kronos, who's I guess like the biggest System Lord.
Yeah, we'll call him the Greek one because that's what he looks like he's dressed as.
Yeah, because Kronos was the father of Zeus, but okay, yes.
Mm-hmm. And
So
what's the Greek one?
We have Nirti. Nirti is a I guess minor Hindu goddess slash demon. She was mentioned before as the one who put the bomb in Cassandra, played them like a damn fiddle.
That one.
Heard about her all the way back in season 1, episode 14. So she's been a long time in the making.
And then we have Lord Yu. I hope y'all like Lord Yu. We'll be seeing him for a while.
Oh, great! How many times did they make the Yu joke?
No, I think. One other episode, I think they do it, but it's a while. It's
Mhm.
yeah, grab. That's season 7, I think. It's the next time they do a U joke, right? Or is it?
Um, a specific you joke? Ooh.
There's one I'm thinking of, and I'm pretty sure that's season 7. So yeah, he'll be around for a while.
Yeah, he's pretty resilient.
Yes. Also, I guess the least evil of the system lords because he doesn't give a shit about Earth.
Yeah, I think
I
you
mean,
is just
wasn't the point
very
that he had helped Earth for a
Ancient
little bit
China.
before? Yeah, he helped ancient China.
Yeah, that was implied. So it's like, yeah, this guy might be the least evil of the system lords. But then also he just doesn't care about Earth. He's like his domain is on like the opposite side of the galaxy or something. Even though I guess that doesn't matter.
I
Mhm.
would say he's very just pragmatic. He doesn't go looking for trouble. Um, he also seems to rely more on diplomacy than like warfare.
Mhm. Right now, they're all doing diplomacy.
Yeah.
Yes, right now they're all doing diplomacy. But yeah, Lord Yu just does not give a shit about Earth. They don't really
Yeah.
go into his territory. He doesn't go and poke at the Tari. The Tari don't really poke at him too much. Generally, the ideal relationship you'd want with a Gould system lord
So
is
they
mutual
just stay out of
indifference.
your way. Just like, yeah, we don't. This you stay out of my way, I'll stay out of yours.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mhm.
China don't care, you could say.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, one thing we forgot to mention here is that this episode starts with like an award ceremony, which is
Oh
more so
right.
pointing towards like the start of the season.
Oh right. Yeah, yeah. They all get awards for being captured by Hathor.
Yeah, well, and that Carter gets promoted
Yeah,
to
she's a major
major,
now.
and like while giving more or less like a congratulatory speech towards like the good work they've been doing, O'Neill more or less gets teleported by Thor, who's
Yes,
like,
that
"Hey,
was
the Gould are coming to kill you, so we kind of we kind of set up like a negotiation to see if they won't kill you." Which, nice of them.
nice to be
But
informed that's happening.
yeah, but there's a very important thing that's kind of gets brought up here that we won't know more until later. Is that the Asgard basically, or at this point, Thor basically says, "Yeah, the Asgard are kind of fighting something else right now, so we can't really do much about the Goa'uld." But they don't know that, so
So that answers a question I had a while ago. Was why aren't the Asgard just like mopping the floor with the Gould? And as it turns out, all their mops are busy.
mhm.
Yeah, wait a few episodes and you'll see.
Yeah.
You'll see.
Really, I figured they'd save whatever they're fighting for like much later on.
They need a they need a two-parter for the end of the season,
Hmm.
As they always do.
as they always do. All right, yeah. So it's also when O'Neill meets Thor for the first time. It's kind of weird to think, having seen the series, that like all these interactions with the Asgard, that O'Neill and Thor hadn't actually met at this point. I mean,
Yep.
at least for me, that's like, oh right, this is the first time they meet.
And this is where like Thor basically drops the and you're going to be the one negotiating for Earth.
Which
Yeah.
everyone
Which
points out is a bad idea. O'Neill points out that's a bad idea.
yeah,
Yeah.
O'Neill himself is actually very
O'Neill,
uncomfortable with this.
yeah, listen. O'Neill is a man who knows his strengths and weaknesses, and he's quite comfortable with them.
Well, in this episode. So yeah, so now O'Neill has to negotiate with the Gould. The Goulds show up. They're pompous, as you would expect. Let's say the casting is whoever they could find in Canada. Let's just say.
Yeah.
Let's
But I
just
guess this
say
isn't necessarily all of the Gould system lords, right? These are just the ones that were planning on attacking Earth when, the death of Hathor happened, because really Hathor's death is what
somehow.
instigated this.
I guess killing like 2 Goulds is like, yeah, sure, whatever. But killing 3 is like, okay, you're a problem now.
Was it is it 3 at this point? I thought it's basically just the one
Raw
that they
had
know of, anyways.
And Apophis. They
Yeah.
knew of Ra and Apophis, and then I guess somehow they found out
Oh,
about Hathor.
I would say that it's more so. I would give them credit for Raw and Hathor, but maybe not
Apophis turned himself in basically to protect himself from was it Cronus? Or who was
Sokar.
So
Oh, it's Sokar. You
But
Yeah, who isn't here?
Yeah, we'll
another
meet
thing
him.
to consider though is, yeah, maybe SG-1 didn't finish off Apophis, but they certainly did like wreck all his shit, and
They weakened him.
yeah, I mean, I I think in an earlier episode they mentioned there's only about a dozen system lords. I mean, when you knock out 2 of them, that's what, like 8%. So 2, you're looking at almost.
I thought it was 30 something that they said.
No, I thought they said like there's only a dozen system lords and
A couple dozen, like a few dozen system lords.
well, at any rate, they're knocking down some pretty powerful players in their power structure. So at this point, they probably have to take the threat of the Tari somewhat seriously.
Well, their answer to that is like, we're just gonna go kill him. We're just gonna kill y'all. Just kill
I
all.
mean,
so
let's
far that
get
does seem
100
like a
ships
very
together.
Gould answer.
And just nuke it from orbit.
Yeah. But regardless, this whole thing is started, and they're like, "Well, we're gonna negotiate," and everyone shows up, and shenanigans ensue. Right?
Yeah, this is the first use of the meeting room set, like the big meeting room. So it's just a big room with a big table in the middle.
Yeah.
A pentagon table
with a pentagonal table, which is convenient to have around when you have 5 people that need to negotiate something.
Mhm.
I
So
do
I have
have
a question.
Yep.
Is it just me, or does this feel like a Star Trek episode?
They're trying to do a Star Trek episode, but they don't really have the juice to make it like an actual Star Trek episode.
I guess,
You
but
need-
if this is basically like extreme, like just the most diplomacy, and they set up a couple of small subplots, like,
Yeah, the thing is,
Kronos killed Teal'c's father,
yeah. So
and
you
a few other things.
you could compare it to that early TNG Worf episode where they're hosting a Klingon delegation, like just ferrying them from one place to another. Then Worf's still like, that motherfucker killed my dad. And Picard's like, oh no.
Yeah.
So they are kind of doing that. But
in this case, Teal'c doesn't tell anyone except Daniel.
Except Daniel. Yeah, Teal'c just keeps it all to himself, and until Daniel notices something, and he tells Daniel. Then Daniel doesn't tell anyone.
Yeah. And actually, no, I will give this episode one thing. Like when they're having their whole assignments given by like the team, and they're like, "Okay, Teal'c, since you're the most knowledgeable at the Goa'uld, we'll make you their liaison." He's like, "Absolutely fucking not."
He's like, I will not attend to the petty needs of these Goa'uld. And then Daniel's like, I'll attend to the petty needs of these Goa'uld.
It's like, I'll do it, I guess.
Yeah. So add that to the list of important thing Teal'c knows about but never discloses to SG Command.
Yeah, like how I have a family.
Well, I mean, at this point, they're starting to acknowledge it, where the other characters are like, why doesn't he tell us these things?
But I mean, this is more so to set up some sort of mystery. But like, I mean, we find out pretty quickly what's actually going on, right?
Yeah, because Kronos and Teal'c get the shit stabbed out of them in, like, I guess a locked room. Conan the detective. Actually, this is kind of a Detective Conan a case. It's a locked room, attempted murder.
Yeah.
It's like, how do they do it? Oh, near can turn invisible. Guess what?
Which I think them setting up this bit earlier on with the Goa'uld showing up and checking out the rooms, and what's her name, Nerity?
Yeah.
Did I get that right? Her freaking out, like, oh, they have a spying device.
Yeah.
It's like, we weren't trying to make it a spying device. This is just protect you to make sure nothing happens. She's like, well, these need to go. It's like, okay, it's because you need them gone, right?
Yeah, they set that up well. They call back to the Ritu, as they're wont to do.
Yeah.
They
At one point, they're like, did a Ritu do it? Did a Ritu come through?
and they're like, no, there'd be nothing left of the room if the Ritu did it.
The bugs would just eat everything.
No, the bugs would just go kablooey and turn everything
They're
to smithereens.
destructive.
They like to explode, the Ritu.
Yeah. At this point, Teal'c isn't conscious, right? Or is he conscious?
I think he wakes up, says that, yeah, something invisible attacked us. And they're like, oh, come on, Teal'c, you have to do better than that. And they
Yeah.
break
But
out
I think
the
that's where they
Ritu
say, like,
guns.
it can't be a Ritu because my Goa'uld symbiote would have
Sensed it,
like
yeah.
sensed it.
And then they conveniently remember that Hathor just appeared out of thin air at the end of season 2. And they're like, oh,
Yeah.
right, they can do that.
I love the
This really
Hathor
is just a
jumping
callback episode.
in there. That was pretty smooth.
Yeah, there's a lot of callbacks. They're trying to tie it all together.
Yeah,
into something
I mean,
cohesive.
it's just Carter and Colonel O'Neill just walking down the hallway. O'Neill's like, please tell me Hathor is dead. And Carter just goes, oh, yeah, absolutely. Like the writers knew nobody liked Hathor, and they were just driving home the fact she's not coming back.
So you know
Yeah,
she's
no one
very
wants to see
dead.
her again.
Trust us. But we have Nirti now.
Who's less obnoxious?
That's annoying, yeah. Problematic, but whatever.
I
Yeah,
mean, problematic
so
in the sense that she turns children into bombs, not that she
So
shows up
she's
and rapes
villainous.
everybody.
She's a less cringe.
She's
Uh,
villainous, but she's not a rapist that we know of.
Yes.
that we know of, yes. Yeah, she just likes to play people like damn fiddles. Okay, I'll stop it.
Mhm.
So yeah, so they break out the Ritu guns, which I guess will work on the cloaking technology that Nirti had cooked up.
Yeah, then they pretty much catch her at that point.
Yeah, there's a whole thing. There's a fake out where it's like, oh, we can't heal Kronos, but then Carter uses the healing device from the Thor planet that what's her name had.
Yeah, so she ends
Yeah.
up being the one that heals Kronos, and that's more or less how they figure it out. It's just like, hey, she tried and
They-
failed. Was she actually trying?
Well, they heal
Yeah.
Cronus, and he confirms that Teal'c is not the one who committed the act. And then he's like, but I don't know who did. And then they just rather quickly find out it was Nirti and not you.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, it's like they
Not me.
do they do, oh my god, they do a scheme.
God damn it.
It's no good.
You were complaining about that joke beforehand, and now you've gone and made it.
I did. You can't stop me.
Yeah, so
I mean, you could stop you.
so
You,
anyway,
Leo,
good.
you.
they strike a side deal with Kronos where if they can find the person that stabbed the shit out of him, he'll give them a good deal.
Yeah, like
It's
he'll vote for the thing without the concessions, and turns out you didn't actually care as much. He's like, whatever, man.
Yeah. Oh, I guess those concessions were that Earth had to like forfeit both Stargates, like get like repossessed or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was a bad deal. There's a whole scene of O'Neill and Thor, where O'Neill's trying to get advice from Thor, and Thor's not giving advice. It's some fun moments of
Yeah, Thor
Anderson.
basically just does like the therapist route where he just keeps asking him questions. Is like, what do you think you should do? And it's just like, I'm
Yeah,
asking you, you son of a bitch.
and O'Neill's like, I shoot people. I don't do this. I don't know.
Yeah. Which really, like, O'Neill being very frustrated about everything going on around him because he's absolutely not equipped for dealing with this is very funny.
Oh.
Yeah, they get good mileage out of that.
So, conspiracy theory. Did the Asgard appoint Neil for this just because they knew he wouldn't be well equipped to, like, do the politician thing and he would just, like, agree? Or.
I mean, I don't feel like
Or-
the Asgard are interested in having
Maybe they didn't give a shit because they knew that the Goa'uld would just be difficult no matter what.
Yeah, it could be that.
It was like disappointing Neil because he'll just agree or disagree. We don't have to tiptoe around him.
I think they just hold him in high regard. I think that's what it is. And maybe this is me just knowing what happens so much more in the future, where O'Neill and the Asgard seem to be like best bros later. But
Yeah, they really are.
I mean, I got the sense that the Asgard were trying to get the people of Earth to defend themselves and trying to get them to learn a lesson. Specifically choosing O'Neill, probably because he's the only one they really knew.
I mean, they're probably putting too much stock in that one time he just kind of showed up and like yelled, "Help! Help my brain!"
Yeah, or I guess maybe him having the being brain blasted. They're like, well, this guy's brain is closer to us than
He
any
could
other
handle it.
Atari.
He can
Yeah.
handle it. Surely he can handle a little negotiation.
If he can handle a brain blast, he can handle anything.
But yeah, so this is like a main plot lore episode, like real heavy because we will see all three of these Goulds again. We'll see Thor, of course, again. The Protected Planets Treaty will come up again. This is tying off the like Hathor, like Earth, Hathor Apophis, Earth under attack whole plot line.
Yeah. It essentially feels like a lot of setup for stuff that's going to come later, right? Like they mention things about how the Asgard are fighting something else. They mention how there's like a whole protected planets treaty and now Earth is more or less protected by it.
Yeah, so it's almost as if they're like wrapping up the storyline of the first two seasons and beginning the storyline for the next three seasons.
Yeah, it's setting some groundwork, to be sure.
Like just the overarching plot for the next however long. But yeah, there's some good lines, some good writing here, some good moments from different characters. Like when the Gould storm out of the first round of negotiations in like less than 5 minutes because O'Neill spoke up without permission, and they had to like smooth things over. Basically, O'Neill had Daniel go and smooth over the things with the Gould. I think O'Neill's talking to Hammond. He's like, "Yeah, the boy knows how to grovel when he needs to," or something like that. There's fun stuff in the episode.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have any technical complaints that I noticed.
Yeah, I like this episode overall.
Yeah, this is a good episode.
Does anyone
Honestly,
have anything else?
I think we have three okay episodes here.
I
Fair
would say
game might be.
we have some good episodes here, and one that's just makes my head hurt. But
I think this one's probably the best of these episodes, but they're all good.
I kind of like
three of
the
them are
last
good.
one more.
Yeah, I'd say the last one. The last one is more like here is our action movie episode, especially in the last third, and I think they do a good enough job at it.
We'll get to
Yeah,
that.
this is the diplomacy episode. I think it's totally fine. It does a good job of setting up some potential villains in the future, some potential other threats. It's just overall like a good to decent episode.
Also, the Secretary of Defense is hanging around. I forgot he was there. He's just hanging around.
He doesn't do much, but yeah, he does hang around.
I don't think we'll ever see him again, will we, Adam?
No.
Yeah. I guess it is worth noting that more or less like the president of the United States was like, yeah, just give it to them. Like it's better than being destroyed, right? So they were going to concede if not for the fact that what's her face basically screwed things up. I guess she was trying to get her cake and eat it too.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that, yeah. And I mean this is summer of '99, so like Bill Clinton is like basically a lame duck at this point. He doesn't care. Yeah, sure, give the aliens the Stargates, whatever.
Mm-hmm. It's not like he's gonna live for another 26 years at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess just in summary for this episode, Sam gets promoted to major. Earth now has Article 5 protection, and we got three new Goa'uld to look forward to in the future.
And an unseen enemy that we have yet to know.
Yes.
All right. So, anyone have any other notes for this episode?
Not really. I mean, it's good, but it's also kind of just unremarkable. So
There was only one quote I jot down that I thought was worth remembering for future use. This is Jack O'Neill to Thor. That's in line with your policy of limited benevolence.
Oh
I
yeah,
look
yeah.
I look forward to the day I can use that in a meeting.
Oh boy.
I look forward to being in a high enough position somewhere, someday, to be able to say that without getting in trouble. That's not gonna happen. That's too much of
no,
an
probably
asshole.
not.
But most bosses wouldn't understand the words. Anyway, we now move on to season 3, episode the 4th, The Legacy. Not the great of a name for that episode. Who wants to summarize this one?
I could do like a quick summary. Essentially, SG-1 shows up on a planet, finds a bunch of super dead Goa'uld. Something enters. I forget if we actually see it enter Daniel Jackson or if it's just implied that something enters Daniel Jackson.
It's implied.
It's
Yeah.
implied, okay. And then basically Daniel Jackson starts seeing things. They have him committed, and then it turns out no, it was actually what's his name? Martouf?
Machello.
Machello? Okay, yeah, sorry. Machello, they just had stumbled upon one of Machello's war crimes, I guess. Though I guess like the Goa'uld aren't necessarily good people, so I'm willing to allow it. But basically, there's this thing that if you are a Goa'uld, it will basically kill the symbiote, and if you're not a Goa'uld, it'll drive you schizophrenic. Which I don't think they do a very good job explaining if this kill are you a Goa'uld? Does this just kill you? Because they all died.
It kills the parasite. Right? It
Yeah.
doesn't.
But they
My
were
understanding
all
is that it doesn't kill. Well, it doesn't kill the. It doesn't go for the host. It goes for the parasite. But killing the parasite kills the host.
yeah, but this is what I want to bring up right away is that like everyone there was super dead,
Yeah,
Yeah,
they were
right?
mummified.
it had
So
been
I
a
think
while.
they tried to try to explain that by the door control was damaged, so they're all locked in there. So I guess as the symbiotes were being like liquefied inside those Goulds, they lost their shit, and I guess someone broke the door. That's the way I read it.
So what they all just starved in there and they've been there for a long time?
Yeah, that's basically what they say.
Okay. I don't know.
My
This
que-
one's it's a good episode, but it's a bit of a weird one. How did you guys like the whole like slow descent into insanity that Daniel was going through?
They probably shouldn't have called it
Uh,
schizophrenia.
Yeah.
uh, Great acting on Michael Shank's part in the padded rooms, but I don't know if you need the whole psychological component. It could have just been them getting sick and being close to death.
I guess they saved that for Teal'c, but I guess like the implications are kind of messed up. But I think just the process of the way they show him slowly seeing things, like I thought all that stuff was just really like it was cool in a way that's like, well, this is fucked up, right?
Yeah,
Like
like
him looking down at the gate and seeing one of the dead bodies like walking around was just like, huh? Or opening up his closet and there being just a Stargate portal there with like people grabbing him from inside. It's some good jump scare horror moments actually.
yeah, I don't think they could have. I don't think they could have gone with a just sick angle and also had that stuff and the horror movie stuff. I think is what makes this episode one of the things that makes this episode work pretty well.
Yeah.
yeah, I guess for my part, the first half of the episode where Daniel's going insane, that's the good stuff. They shoehorn in basically a completely different plot where the brain bug goes into Teal, he gets sick, and then there's a lab breach, and then O'Neill, Carter, and Dr. Frazier all get brain bugged, and but more severely. And then there's just like a bad lab medical drama for like 10 minutes.
Exactly 10
Yeah,
minutes, actually.
that's that thing. That whole bit is it's one of those things where it feels like they're running out of time, so they wrap it up a little more neatly than maybe they should. But
Well, like if the whole episode was just Michael Shanks just sweating in a room, or like if they had him go crazy for a bit longer before getting thrown into One Flew Over a Cuckoo's Nest, like that would have been more compelling to like focus in on that part, and then just I guess the brain bug falls out and he gets better. I guess that would have been a good ending.
nah, that wouldn't have been a good ending either. I think the ending they chose is all right. It just feels rushed.
Yeah, it feels like they would have needed more time to like make both more fleshed out, and they definitely flesh out the whole like slowly going insane part way better than they do the we're stuck in a room with a bunch of people tweaking out, and one of them's more or less okay and has to do a bunch of work to save them, while one of them's barking orders while another person's yelling like that'll never work
Oh
until he
yeah,
realizes no, actually that will work, never mind, keep doing this. It's like, oh,
Dr.
okay, cool.
Dr. Warner is just the most incompetent person in that case.
Like one of
Yeah.
my show notes is just, is that how blood works?
Yeah, that's one thing I'd
I
like
mean,
to
we don't need to
ask.
talk about the actual
Is-
solution because it's dumb as shit. Like, I mean, do you want me to explain it? It's basically just like,
Oh,
well,
please do.
you can't just give everyone her blood because okay, so Carter's immune. I'll explain a little bit more. Carter's immune because she already had a symbiote, and the symbiote's dead. It detects that there was a dead symbiote, and it leaves.
Yeah, the
But
brain bugs find like a protein marker. That's what they call
yeah,
it, I think. Yeah.
so they need to transfer that protein marker to the other people so that it stops them, so that it stops messing with their brains. But you can't do that because they're all different blood types. So their solution is throw the blood in a centrifuge and spin it around real fast so that it separates things, and you just give them the good stuff. Which I don't think that's how science works, but
I mean,
spin it around, give them the good
my
stuff.
understanding is that centrifuges can separate stuff, but I don't know if it separates blood like that.
I mean, because so how do they get plasma from blood when you do that?
That's a process, is my understanding. I don't know. I think we are all talking about something which we don't understand in the least. It might be true, it might not, but ultimately, the last 10 minutes of this episode really are just like a bunch of scientific ideas, medical ideas being thrown around, and if you aren't already in the know, you're gonna be like, sure, I guess.
Oh, okay. So
I
I
mean,
just Google's telling me that you can use a centrifuge to get to separate blood from plasma, but it probably doesn't work like the way it does in the episode.
yeah, it's like they were trying to separate the white blood cells from the red blood cells, which I don't think you can do.
No, no, it's not white blood cells. It's just like the plasma. Like there's like
Yeah.
just the water and getting the red blood cells out of it.
Okay, sure.
They're trying to get away, trying to separate the parts of the blood that the recipient's blood is going to reject.
Which is the red
If
blood
they're
cells.
not the same
Yeah.
if they're not the same blood type.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why blood plasma is universal, and like actual blood has to be the same type. So yeah, so probably the quickest and easiest separation of blood plasma ever, and then they just straight inject that into O'Neill and Fraser, who are again just freaking out on the floor.
Yeah, at one point Frasier's like, it's too hot, and she starts trying to take her clothes off, and thankfully they stop her.
Yeah, that's weird. So like she unbuttons the top of the blouse. You don't see anything, and then the next shot, like I guess it's closed up again. It's like why even have her do that? Why even do it in the first place if you're not going to?
I think that scene is there to make sure that if you're at the house and your dad's watching the Stargate and you hear a lady scream, "It's too hot, I need to take this off," all the teen boys just start looking at the screen. So maybe you get them hooked into Stargate that way.
God.
I
Oh,
mean, listen,
this was
we
still
were all
Showtime.
we were all annoying, weird, stupid, horny, perverted teenagers at some point. So
You didn't need that many adjectives.
Yeah.
But
okay.
Yeah. 3 adjective cap there.
I'm sorry. I dislike.
We're shutting this down. Too many adjectives.
yeah, you just have to say teenager, and that
Uh-huh.
just covers everything.
Yeah, we already knew. But I was gonna say, like, it's funny that they got the Michello voice back, but it's literally just Daniel doing like an old man voice.
Yeah, because that's just Michael Shanks.
I know.
You have to get an actor back. Just Michael Shanks.
But the idea, like, I'm just trying to think of the logistics of what Michello made here. He made more or less a bug grenade that infects Goa'ulds, kills them, and then when it's done, it plays a radio message saying, "Hey, you're good now, bro," and then it falls out of your ear.
Yeah, I guess Michello came up with all kinds of mad science gadgets and just kind of sprinkled them across the galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
it would be funny if they just kept running into those like every season or two. But I think this is the last time we'll ever see or hear about Michello.
Interesting concept. Michello having all these secret, like, DARPA test locations throughout the galaxy, and each one is more disturbing than the last.
It's just this man just spent 100 years generating SCPs. You just randomly encounter them.
But the one time we did meet him, he was more than happy to befriend a homeless man and have burgers and milkshakes with him.
Oh,
It's just a
God.
good time.
I miss Fred already.
But yeah, so we'd all agree that Michello was a mischievous scam, right?
Yes. I mean, let's see what he's been responsible for. He's got the bugs that make you go insane. He's got the Freaky Friday device. Are there any other weird devices that we know of?
No, but the thing is,
Those two.
but that room was full of devices. We just never go back to it, sadly.
Well, they say that they have them in Area 51, which is where they go to get these weird, like, grenades.
Yeah, because he made a
I
bunch
think
of them.
I call them grenades. But
They're not
they're just-
grenades. They're like page turning stones for like the space PDAs.
yeah. So, oh god,
So
I'm not going to make the reference I was thinking of. But anyways,
basically they're space styluses. Styli.
yeah. So basically, Michello put a bomb inside the stylus.
Yeah, or just put the brain bugs inside the stylus,
put
and
the
then they
brain
just go
bugs.
into your skin when you use it.
Mm-hmm.
So the way these things enter the skin, I guess they're just phasing through skin.
Yeah,
Because they also phase through. They phase through rubber gloves, and they phase through the containment thing that they were in before.
which I guess is in bounds for the alien technology we see in Stargate. Shit just phasing around.
Here's a question: has that like little containment device that they keep using ever worked? I feel like every time they use that thing, it just immediately either eats through the gloves and then they have to lock down that room, or the brain bugs spill out and they have to lock down that room. I feel like at a certain point, you just stop dealing with the alien bullshit there. Like, you just got to create some sort of off-world base where it's like, you know what? Anything bad happens, it happens over there.
Is this the last time we see that glove box, Tyler?
I think we only ever see it when nanomachines are involved, so I'm gonna go ahead and say yes.
Oh wait, no, I think we see it. Wait, unless they use something else for that one time. Guess we'll find out.
I think we see that room again because
Oh,
there's
yeah.
gonna be other medical science stuff where, of course, you want, a balcony where people are looking down at you, scrutinizing you. But in terms of that box, I think it's the last time we see it.
Okay, yeah, because that room, they keep using that room up through the end of the series. Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah. Oh, so speaking of rooms, we see the shower room again. Only good things happen in that shower room set.
Yeah. Definitely nothing bad.
Yeah. One of the questions I wanted to bring up, like, is Tilk under a UV light? And if that is a UV light, why is he under a UV light?
To make it look sciencey.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like
I
that
don't
time
remember.
they covered that one. We haven't seen that baby-faced airman in a while, have we?
Yeah, I think he's gone.
Yeah, I don't think he's in this season anymore.
No. So goodbye, baby-faced Airman. It was nice knowing you.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't go under any UV lights.
Exactly.
Also, you really should just like the moment anyone in an SG team acts just even a little bit off, they should immediately put that person in quarantine
I
or
guess
Just
in
under
this case
medical
they did
observation.
do something. The thing is that what they did was wrong. They were like, maybe the Stargate actually causes, brain damage, and we need to like limit the amount of missions and whatnot. And maybe it just turns out Daniel's the first casualty of this, and we're sorry. So in the padded room you go.
yeah. But
Yeah, and
Jack going on and on about, oh, he's probably just stressed, or he's been on a lot of missions. He's probably just stressed out right now.
that's
Not
a real
like,
boomer thing to do.
yeah. I mean, Jack, let the medical professionals handle it.
But also, they
I,
were even more wrong than he was.
Yeah,
yeah, that's the thing. Like they were actually like super wrong about it too. So I wouldn't give them as much props as you might want to.
yeah.
Also, I don't think padded cells were a thing by the 90s.
Maybe not in America.
Oh, but in fake America?
In fake America, they're all the rage. You know what though? I just want to bring up again, like Michael Shanks' performance in this is phenomenal.
Oh,
He
yeah,
really
yeah.
does sell it. Like him freaking out when he's in the room playing cards with Jack, just
Like,
ever so slowly.
alright, just trying not to freak out and then just losing it. Yeah.
Yeah. And even like him cowering in fear, like in the padded room when the I guess more or less the zombie walks up and is just kind of like in between Teal'c and Carter, just kind of staring at him.
Or like he starts laughing, but it's like laughing and crying at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they made him real sweaty for that scene, which helps out.
I would say one question I do have about this episode is what is all of yours' favorite jump scare and or spooky moment in this episode?
Uh,
When when that CG Gould goes into I guess when he hallucinates that Gould going into a Neil, there's some good crunchy sound that's like ugh.
Yeah, and O'Neill's basically just kind of talking. It's like I feel fine, and I starts like, oh god.
Like just the crunchy sound effect they had there was yeah.
Yeah, I like the him reaching for the portal while saying this isn't real, and the hand just grabs out and grabs him, and he starts going, help, help, help. That part's really good.
All right, Tyler, you have to pick one.
Um,
You don't have a
I,
choice; you have to pick one.
I guess maybe like in the very beginning of the episode when they're first like just going into the room, seeing all these like corpses and trying to figure out like what's going on. Just kind of walking around like this creepy tomb and the overall atmosphere of the scene.
but
And it's
that's
like,
not a
oop,
hallucination.
no, yeah, that's him walking into a dark room and going, oops, bodies.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
oops, all bodies.
I don't know. I guess I didn't have a favorite jump scare. That's really not
Okay.
my forte.
I will admit it's been 3 weeks since I watched this episode, so I don't remember.
Oh no.
No, I remember the episode. I
I mean
enjoyed the
that's
episode
fair.
to a
If it
degree.
didn't leave as much of a impression on you as it did me, then it just means that you didn't really like, the jump scares weren't as much of your thing on this episode as they were for me.
They were.
No,
I mean, they were. I remember thinking they were pretty cool. I just don't know which one I would call my favorite.
Okay.
I do think. Yeah. I mean, I mentioned this before. I don't think. I think the horror aspect of this, at least for the first half of the episode, is part of what makes it work. So, like, just making him sick wouldn't work. But uh, I do think the last 10 minutes are not great. It's fine.
It's
Yeah.
whatever. It's whatever.
I
The last 10
enjoyed.
minutes
I
are literally,
enjoyed it.
it's literally someone. It feels like the director is just in the background yelling, "Wrap it up, people! Wrap it up! We need to wrap this shit up! Wrap it up!"
Yeah.
You do
I'll
have to
go home for the
appreciate.
weekend. Wrap it up.
You just have to appreciate Richard Anderson just writhing in the background during the whole scene.
He does a good writhe, that's to be sure.
It's like, Richard, just lie here and like squirm a bit, and yeah, you're getting paid millions of dollars to do that.
They weren't paying him millions of dollars, man.
He was the
Really?
producer of this. He was the executive producer of this show at this point, right?
Yeah, still part of getting paid
Like,
millions of
he
dollars.
was. Yeah. Richard D. No, he's not getting paid millions, but Richard D. Anderson's probably getting paid a pretty penny, more than everyone else involved, likely.
Probably, yeah, but not millions of dollars. This is Canadian sci-fi in the 90s. Come on.
I guess.
This is like
The
one and a
government
half
can't
steps
afford that.
above Tech Wars, all right?
Really, you don't think he got a bump in pay because he was MacGyver?
They didn't have millions of dollars. I'll bet you money they didn't even have that kind of money. The show overall.
I think you just like backhand called Canada poor.
Can't believe you did this.
I just said this is one and a half steps above Tech Wars. All right, it's
Another fine Canadian show that you're besmirching.
well, I'm gonna make you all watch it. Anyway,
So I've Googled it. I've looked this up. Now the top two answers are like there's the AI answer, there's a Quora answer, and like that's just a never mind.
well, the AI
And then there's a
answers-
Reddit, and then there's a Reddit answer, but like
3 useless answers, all lined up for us.
It's the AI answer, which you shouldn't believe. It says that Richard D. Anderson made 100 to 250K per episode.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. Richard D. Anderson was also a pretty established TV show star by that point. MacGyver was a big thing, had been a big thing for a little bit.
This thing was like maybe $500,000 per episode total budget. So
I would believe that towards the later seasons potentially. Early on, I don't know. He was the producer, so
there's also
might be included in that.
Mm-hmm.
How much did Kurt Russell get paid for Stargate? $7 million. Okay.
Oh well,
There we go.
That's $7,094. That's like 14-15 million today.
That's also what you pay Kurt Russell. I'll believe that.
Yeah.
Like 1994 Kurt Russell is going to be paid a lot of money.
Yeah. Probably not any residuals, but yeah, that's a lot of money. Okay, so any other notes about this episode?
One thing I will say is that when Daniel Jackson has the brain bug removed from him and he's trying to convince the doctors in the padded room that he's okay, I think that whole bit is very good.
Because it's like, oh, of course you won't believe me.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
It's one of the best scenes in this episode too, just because of like the ludicrousness of it all and how he somehow convinces them. It's like, yeah, you just need to call them. Just call them, and if something's wrong with Teal'c, then we know that I probably have a point here. So please, just do that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
Well, let's rip off this fucking Band-Aid.
All right, so now we're moving on to season 3, episode the 5th, Learning Curve. So before the episode summary, I just want to say I have very few notes for this episode. My 3 notes, in order as watching this, are first, this is so cringe. Second, I hate this so much. And third, oh right, kidnapping.
Yeah. So I have one note and one note only. Actually, I have 2. The first one is Nanomachine's son, and the second one is they stole his brain.
They sucked his brains out.
Yeah, they sucked his brains out. So does
if
anyone else want to give
only-
a summary of this?
Only.
Justin,
I
do you
think
want to
this is
summarize
all you.
All right. So I'm not very good at summarizing without going off on a tangent. So if I screw up, please correct my course. But so this episode begins with Stargate. They make contact with a world called Orban, and they've already like established like a relationship with them at the beginning of the episode, and there's going to be like an exchange where somebody from Orban comes to the Stargate to Earth, and somebody from Earth stays on the other side of the Stargate, and just sort of like it's like an information exchange. They talk to each other about stuff. So after they so when it gets started, Daniel and Tilk stay on the other side of the Stargate. Carter and O'Neill come back home, and with them comes the main adult character of this planet Orban, named Kalen. One of the first things pointed out is that all of the workers seem to be children, and I think it's Daniel Jackson who says, "Oh, they're just like kids on a
Apprentices.
apprentices or something like that," which should have thrown off alarm bells, but O'Neill just kind of shrugs. And so they get back to the other side of the Stargate, and Kaylin comes with a girl named Marin. Marin is an 11-year-old girl, and she is holding a Naquita generator. So I assume this is supposed to generate electricity or power in some way. At first, the Orbans are just going to like leave the generator there, and then just leave. And they don't understand the concept of Sam Carter saying, "I need someone to teach me how this works," or like walk me through it, talk about it, and so on and so forth.
Or goddamn user manual. Anyway,
yeah, or a user manual or something. And Kaylin and Marin are like, what is learning? What is teaching? And then they turn around to leave, and Marin winds up agreeing to stay. And the question is like, you're an 11-year-old girl. How do you know how a generator works? And as it turns out, she's a bit of a girl genius, which should have raised alarm bells right off the bat, somewhere along the lines, somewhere beside all the child labor going on. As we go on, we find out that Marin isn't necessarily a child genius. Her brain has been pumped full of nanomachines that make her super intelligent, and that include all of the knowledge that she needed to do her job. And
nanomachines.
Yeah, and like
Yes, Snake. Nanomachines. Anyway, go on.
Yeah,
Nanomachine, son.
Exactly. No, that's the other character who has the nanomachine son is what's his face's son. But don't worry, keep going on, Justin.
Yeah, so we go back to the other side where Teal'c and Daniel Jackson are, and Teal'c once again, Kalen introduces his son to Teal'c. Kalen's son is also like an 11-year-old boy who is seems to be a child genius, and he talks and Teal'c and the kid talk for a bit, especially about Teal'c's history with the gold, what the gold are, and the how to fight back against the gold. After this conversation, the kid goes through something that the Orbanites or Orbanians or whatever call the Avarium, which turns out to be where they reabsorb all the nanites from the kid. And I guess I was never quite clear on exactly what that is, but it seems like once they reabsorb them,
they distribute the nanomachines to the population or something.
Yeah, something like that. Which it never really shows the population apart from a bunch of kids and Kalen. So I'm not really sure what this looks like. I guess
Extras
there's like
cost money. Extras cost money. They don't have enough loonies, okay, to hire all those extras.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the idea. As we go on, and as everyone finds out that these kids are essentially being lobotomized for the sake of the rest of the population, they while Marin is on the bait, is still at Stargate, they try to convince her, like, you don't have to return. This is wrong. This is bad. You have a life to live. You don't need to go back and have your brain sucked out and be a vegetable for the rest of your sad existence. And she has a hard time accepting this. Like, she's basically brainwashed to do, quote unquote, what she needs to do. And they eventually, O'Neill basically kidnaps her, takes her to a school, shows her what kids her own age are doing, shows her art. basically she's in a classroom setting with a teacher that O'Neill knows. And O'Neill's like, no, paint something you think is beautiful. And it takes her a while to like get to the concept of painting a flower. And he teaches her the idea of painting an impression of a flower and your own interpretation of a flower. And this is a whole lot for O'Neill to know, but also a whole lot for an 11-year-old to absorb. And eventually, Marin decides to go back anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And
she's like, yeah, that's cool. I still need to go back to my planet.
Yeah, like she's like, I'm glad I discovered the joy of fun.
The joy
but then
of
she goes back anyway.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
the joy of
have
painting.
work to do. I can't just be painting
I'm sorry,
all day.
I'm sorry, I have to go back to my soul-sucking existence. Which,
Yeah.
Sure.
In this case, it's a brain-sucking existence.
So she goes back, and like, I honestly wish the episode would have ended here. I was already pretty annoyed and upset at this Kalen guy, because he's so happy about all of this. He's very clearly a villain.
So he's not happy about this until the last few scenes where you realize why he's happy about what's going on. And the implication is kind of fucked up if you think about it.
It's so bad. So she's like, they take her back, and then there's like a last 5 minutes of the show where Kalen goes like, guys, you gotta come see this. And they go back and they see all these kids who have no memory and basically cannot speak, running around.
No, so that's not what's going on. That's not what's going on. It's not the people who have no memories. What happened is everyone absorbed the nanomachines of her, and they all learned how to have fun and how to learn.
Yeah,
and they all learned
that was my idea.
Yes,
that was the idea, and I'm like, what the fuck?
I know, right?
Like,
it's so
the whole point of this episode basically was like learning and teaching and like growing into yourself over time, and finding out about the world around you, finding yourself, finding a lot of stuff is just undercut entirely. They just basically steal everything that this little girl was and spread it out among the people. And I'm like, why couldn't you have just said, oh, she came back and she taught people how to teach without necessarily losing everything?
But then how could you... So here's the thing. Like, they do try to sort of explain this in a way that, like, so I guess whatever the way this race works is that when someone needs to do a task, they implant them with these things, and then when
at some point,
the task, it gets absorbed back into the society, and then everyone has that knowledge, right?
Well, at some point, they say that once you're an adult, you can't take on those nanomachines, right? Because your brain's too developed.
They don't say that.
No, they say that the kids who had their brain sucked can't take on additional nanomachines after that.
Yeah. If you had your brain sucked, you can't take on additional nanomachines. And so I guess like sort of the crux of this episode is this is more of like a difference of opinion thing. And don't get me wrong, these people are absolutely wrong in what they do. But the way that they set it up is that this society, like, this is all they know. This is what they've been doing for thousands of years. They have this pool of
For
knowledge
49
that only
years.
49 years. Yeah, they say that this particular process was discovered 49 years ago.
Which
Was-
means,
is what
damn
it
it.
said.
they should still know how schools work. They still have the
Okay, so
concept
maybe
of
this is dumber than I
education.
thought it was. Maybe this is dumber than I
Yeah,
thought it
it's
was. But anyway,
very dumb.
Self-contradictory.
I know. All they have to do to change this is just say that this has been this way for thousands of years, and then suddenly that
I mean,
problem.
they could just put a
It's still a
zero
problem.
on the end of the number 49. It's been done for 490 years. That's long enough.
Exactly.
That'd be better.
And maybe you know what? Let's say this. Maybe that these people are smart at the same time so stupid that they don't know how time works because they
Or
don't
you
know
could
how to
say
learn
that this
stuff.
was, or you could say this was yet another abandoned Gould project because we've done that one before.
Yeah,
They
that
actually
too.
reference
Anyways,
that in
like,
this episode.
yeah, the main crux of like the part of contention that ends up happening with the sort of like the international incident that almost happens between these two people is more or less a difference on how these people work, right? The Earthlings and O'Neill says like, no, you shouldn't do this. You should just teach people and have people grow as people. And these people, the way that they do things is that when you're a kid, they implement you with a bunch of nanites that have knowledge, and if you turn out to be special, will absorb you and
Well,
will
no.
put
So
that knowledge into everybody.
So they take some kids, like some
Yeah.
fraction of the kids who are born, and they put the nanomachines in them, and then harvest them at the age of 12, because they go specialize in something. Which also they have to learn, so they should know what learning is, because all these nanomachine kids have to learn things. It's just okay, no, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, but
I'm not
the
gonna
thing
do
is,
that
like, this episode's contradictory
Like-
because there's no way that they like. It doesn't make any sense. Like, did they always have this knowledge? Then why did they need to reabsorb it into the nanites? It's like a chicken or egg scenario. This episode doesn't do a good job of explaining how that works.
It
Uh,
feels like I brought
It's
this up. It feels like they're trying to like do a let's challenge the Prime Directive concept episode, but like they fumble it so hard.
I don't think they fumble it. Up until the last 5 minutes of the episode, I don't think they fumble it. But you're right. At the last 5 minutes, they do fumble it. Okay, I agree with you. They
Yeah,
fumble it.
and listen. This episode is that image of like Picard face palming,
Yeah,
basically.
Which, speaking of which, there are several Next Generation episodes with not the same premise but similar premises.
yeah. Like I could the episode
handle it
with
better.
the three genders where like the one gender
As Enterprise. Oh god, see, I was thinking of that episode. O'Neill's basically Tucker in that episode
yeah.
with the three genders. Yeah, it's and you have look, man, they're running out of ideas in Enterprise. All right.
Oh my word. Okay, continue.
No,
Sorry.
I was talking about the TNG episode with Reichert and the non-binary thing. I forgot what it was.
I don't
They
remember
just
that
kind
one.
of
What about the episode where they find a human kid who had been adopted by that like militarized alien race, and they try to like repatriate that human kid who's like a
Yeah,
rebellious
there's that
teenager
too.
about it.
Yeah. Or
Or
like another one you could bring up is that Orville episode where the Klingon stand-in, it's like, oh, we have a daughter. Like, they're not supposed to be daughters, so everyone becomes a man through this operation or something. And it's like the same, it's like one of those episodes.
clown nosing Star Trek. So yeah, there are
The
episodes
Orville's
like
basically
this.
just Star Trek with what's his face in it. So
Well, there's also that Voyager episode where they find these children who are actually old people, because everyone everyone in that alien race Benjamin Buttons.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like this
there's-
isn't new territory. Like they're doing one of those is basically
Yeah.
what we're saying here. And like I think they do a good setup. I don't think they deliver. Like this Kalen guy running around just constantly like shoving children in front of smart people, I think is very funny. And the fact that they don't catch on to this way earlier is very funny.
They really needed more than one adult character for the other planet.
They only hired one. And
They
he's
just
just
hired the
shoving
one
children
guy.
in front of people. But
Like, there any adults here?
no, there's no adults here. But anyways, like the kids start disappearing one by one, so like that sort of raises eyebrows, but no one really bats an eye. And I guess Teal'c's really the one who figures out what's going on, right?
Teal'c's like, no, where's your son? What did you do with your
Yeah.
son, man? What did you do with
Yeah.
him?
Yeah.
Listen,
And
I have a son I never see, but he's
So
still my son, so I want to.
exactly.
so,
I want
so
to
I
see
have
I
your
know.
son.
maternal instincts, man.
Yeah, I want to see your son because I can't see my son.
Just Teal again, getting on someone's case for being a bad dad.
Yeah. But so one thing I will say is they do have that scene with him and his son where the kid's like, "No, I'm actually like super worried about the gold. We can't wait. You need to absorb my knowledge now." Which that's where like the moral dilemma happens here because this is what these people don't see anything wrong with it, and I don't think they necessarily. I don't think this really gets solved at the end of the episode. It seems like it maybe kind of does, but maybe not. It's kind of like a weird thing.
Or it's like
I feel
it's
like
like
that bit in there, that bit is in there just to make you feel less shitty about what happens.
maybe, but that just makes it worse. Like leave it on a down note. Don't have these
What, don't
vegetable
have
kids.
Palin show up, look all happy while skipping and jumping, and hands O'Neill a picture that he drew of himself that's just a stick figure with blonde hair while smiling at you? Like, that's not in bad taste?
That's the worst case than having a downer ending.
Yeah, honestly, that when he handed him that picture and then he opens it up and looks at it, I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Just shoot this
It
guy.
would have been
Yeah.
better to have a downer episode, right? I mean, not everything can always be all sunshine and rainbows. I
Yeah,
mean,
but I guess
it,
like the implication is like
They
her getting
they taught
absorbed.
fun to the society where no one in his entire planet knew what fun was.
Yeah, they didn't know what playing was, and they didn't know what learning was. So now they're gonna and like keep in mind these kids aren't in comas. They're basically just like they have no
they're
their brain
vegetables.
function was basically just removed. But
Well,
now the implication is that they're gonna teach them from scratch, and that they'll be fine.
they've been reverted to basically baby brains or something.
Yeah, like
Yeah, I
it's
got
like
the
deleting
impression.
your hard drive.
I got the
There's nothing in
impression they're
there.
going to be that way for the rest of their lives. Is
Well,
that
they
incorrect?
he said that because they just don't bother doing anything with them. They just keep them around.
You
And
keep
they,
them alive.
yeah, they don't try to like re-educate them or anything like that, which is part of the conflict that
Yeah,
Teal'c has with
but
them,
also they don't know what education is. So
So I
which makes no
guess,
sense.
like, looking at this episode through the lens of all the other episodes we've seen so far, it to me it seems like anytime Stargate tries to go deep down, like the philosophical, more moralistic, they the idea is there, but the execution inevitably gets like fumbled.
Yeah, yeah, they're not good at being deep.
Yeah, like it's not a strength of this show. Is at least through season 3, it's not.
They're not good on the philosophical quandaries
Yeah,
because there's only one character in the cast who's supposed to be equipped to even handle philosophical quandaries.
kind of stepping away from the philosophical stuff. Can we just appreciate the irony of this is like the first time Stargate has found an advanced civilization that is willing to share their technology. They're not like the Nox that are condescending or the Tolan who are just assholes. Like these people seem, pretty much fine. And then, oh yeah, we like to turn our kids' brains into alphabet soup.
Yeah, we built our civilization on industrially sacrificing our children. Yeah,
Yeah,
hmm,
yeah, we agree with
yeah,
you. We should stop the gold, and this is just the means we do it by.
Now, what do you think the reaction to this would be IRL?
in the episode, like the Pentagon did not give a shit, and I think IRL the Pentagon would not give a shit.
The
yeah,
Pentagon
and
would be
like
like,
if you think about it, it was them basically just saying like, no, we need to keep relations with this race because they have useful technology for us. So
you think they would
They
be like,
have
well,
the
how do we do
mastery.
that?
No,
Yeah.
I don't think they'd go that far.
No, no.
No,
just the thing
I think they would probably take it and just keep the kids as is and let them grow into like useful, brainwashed, super smart
supercomputers.
adults. Yeah.
You're saying is they would start the Spartan
Spartan
project with
program.
these kids?
Yeah, basically,
Yes.
turn that girl into the Master Chief. That's what the Pentagon would do.
But like they insert it shortly after birth, though. That's the thing. They make these kids super intelligent. Like, was it like a few months into life?
So
Yeah, this entire planet
it's
is
like
just
one of those
filled with the Baby
isekais.
Genius movie.
Well, no, it's like the isekais, where a person is born like just their mind as is from birth, like that. Then their jobless reincarnation, you could say.
That show is that's like the worst part of that show, and the fact that that show gets as good as it does infuriates me.
Okay, fine. Then how about Eminence and Shadow? How about that one?
I've not
Is that
seen that.
cool? It's fun. But yeah, so it's basically like an isekai where you have all these like toddler geniuses
Mhm.
running around. But hey, you know what? At least we get the Nakuda reactors out of this. We'll see more Nakuda reactors. So this is a lore important episode.
And
Of
Yes.
course,
and Richard Dean Anderson dyed his hair again. I noticed in this episode. So
Well, he went out in public in this episode, so he's got to look good for the people, right?
yeah,
for the fifth graders. Okay.
Yeah.
It's just,
So like,
this is
is the Nakuda thing basically like an RTG? You know what that
I
is?
don't know what an RTG is. What's an RTG?
It's a generator. It's a type of generator that they can put on. It doesn't generate much electricity, but they put it on things that go into space. It generates some electricity to keep things powered. It's a kind of. It is a nuclear battery.
yeah, it's basically a nuclear battery that puts out like a whole bunch of megawatts. So
that can also be a bomb.
it could also be a bomb
Yes.
if you set it if you set it that way.
I bet one gets
Throw it
used
in
as
the
a
general
bomb at
direction
some
of
point.
explosions.
Well, you have Jack O'Neill, whose solution oftentimes comes down to let's just use a nuke. So
Yeah, so
Mhm.
you will see Nakuda reactors pretty soon going forward.
Yeah, though the design of them does change vastly. Speaking of which, how did you guys like the two Borg cubes glued together that they presented us with?
Love it, love it.
It was pretty good.
Okay, does anyone have anything else? I just want to move on with life.
Do you? Because like I want to say that there are some good parts of this episode. Like the parts with Carter and Marin interacting are good.
Like,
It's just where it leads is shitty.
It starts off okay. It's just like basically the last 20 minutes where things go, oh no, this is heading in a bad direction, and then they pick
It's
the
really
worst direction.
It's really the last 5 minutes that are like the death knell of this episode.
The whole thing's cringe. Like it
I
starts
agree
cringe
with you that it's mostly cringe. Like it's a dumb concept. Like the reason, if they had thought of any other reason why this is happening, or just another like found another way to make the stakes of these kids being sacrificed be the thing, like sure, but it's just
or just stick with
sense.
the
It's dumb.
or just stick with the original point of like learning and teaching is important and you should engage in that. I don't know, like it's not anything complex, but like that would have been a more satisfying ending of Marin like rejecting the lobotomy and saying, no, I'm going to like teach people how to do this thing. And
It's like
I don't know, and that's I have no idea how you achieve that in an hour-long episode. But like,
yeah, or just like lead off with yes, we are the planet where we industrially sacrifice our kids in order to achieve all these great scientific advances. And then like Tom Paris gets like up in his feelings about it or something, and then you have like a plot from there.
Tom Paris just actually shows up.
Yeah, Tom Paris actually shows
Excuse
up.
me.
just walks on set.
Hang the fuck on, guys. I don't believe that this is the right way to go about things. And I've been through Warp 10.
I'm noticing an overall trend in this show, and that's anytime there's a child involved, prepare for bad things to happen because here's the body of evidence. Charlie, Jack's son, had a tragic incident. Tilk's son got turned into a WMD. Cassandra got turned into a WMD. Charlie, that was like the Ritu clone telecommunication device. I guess he survived, but he basically had to go live with the Tok'ra, which sounds awful. And now,
Just
Marin.
living in caves.
Yeah, so anytime we see like a child actor, just brace yourself.
I mean, Cassandra wound up okay, but
Yeah,
otherwise,
but
yeah.
WMD.
Really, this is the first one where you get an ending where it's very like unsatisfactory for that character. It's like, well, that sucks. That character's basically dead. And for all intents and purposes, like this, what's her name, Marin?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
so Marin is gone, but she lives throughout her. She lives on in basically her
Like,
brain is part of everyone's brain,
the-
and that's like,
the-
is that good? I don't think so.
the body that contained Marin is still there, but Marin, the person, the personality, that summation of life experience is gone.
No, but that's the thing. She's not gone. She's now part of everybody.
And so are all the other kids who have been ovariumed,
I-
which is also a terrible name to pick for that.
Yeah.
So the way it's spelled on this Wikipedia page I'm looking at is Averium, Averium.
Okay.
So
It's
yes, you're
subtitles.
right. You're right that ovarium is in fact terrible. Averium is slightly better, but I wish they'd have paid better attention to how they pronounce it.
So
Yeah. But so
here's the
now that I
distinction.
think about this is kind of like, is this like a shitty version of the Borg that's somehow like more dubious?
Nah,
Nah,
not
not
really.
really.
No.
Because the
Well, because
technology
it's kind of
aspect
like
isn't
everyone
there.
has everyone else's knowledge whenever this happens, right?
No, this is like
It's
one
like
of
a
those
weird.
this is one of those really high concept Planet of the Weeks that like early TNG just fails to explain or do anything with.
Yeah, I guess.
It-
Well, I don't think
This is something
these people
that
don't show up again, right?
no. This is something that Gene Roddenberry might have thought of, except the adult guy would have been a pretty lady instead.
Yeah, that's true. Yes.
But no, so this is just a bad Star Trek episode, like a bottom tier Star Trek episode is what this is, but in Stargate
Mm.
with Richard Dean Anderson being Richard Dean Anderson about it.
Yeah, which I will say, like I think the character O'Neill does good on what he can do here. Like, sure. As far as like O'Neill's character, I don't think any of the characters of the team really get sabotaged here, which is nice, at least for how messed up this episode is. If you really, that last 5 minutes is just so bad.
Yeah, like everyone involved in the production of the episode does a good job with what they're given. It's just what they're given is please reconsider.
Yeah.
All right, anything else?
That drawing was not very good.
Okay. All right. Going once, going twice. Sold. We now move on to our last episode of this batch, season 3, episode the 6th. Point of view. I guess I'll go summary for this. An alternate universe, Kowalski and Carter come out of that mirror device in Area 51. They get immediately trucked over to the SGC. There's some Carter v. Carter bickering. They find out that multiverse theory in Stargate, also the way it works is two of the same person can't exist in the same universe for some reason. So they have to go and put Carter and Kowalski back where they came from. Back where they came from is basically that one episode from season 1 where everyone dies.
Yeah, but slightly
Uh,
different.
But it's slightly
It's
different
different timeline.
because everyone has goatees in that universe.
Mm-hmm.
But also
Including Apophis.
especially Apophis. But this is season 3, not season 1, so they know a way to deal with Apophis now, which is just called the Asgard. So they go through, do that, get captured by Apophis, but before they're all executed, the Asgard show up and just mop away Apophis and all the Goulds, and then I guess alternate Carter and Kowalski can go back to being in their own universe, and
Mhm.
then everyone goes home. The main point, I guess the main thing in this episode is they're faced with the problem from that one episode in season one, except now they're able to solve it pretty easily. So it's like when Frieza comes back as like cyborg Frieza, and then she gets immediately diced up.
Yeah, Trunks just shows up and kills him.
Yeah, so this is like that, where this insurmountable problem is actually surmountable now. They powered up enough.
Mhm.
They've reached Super Saiyan 1, I guess. Oh,
Yes.
and also Carter gets into a love triangle with herself, which is it's really something that would of course happen to her.
Yeah.
Because alternate Carter was married to alternate O'Neill. This O'Neill has no like idea how to handle that information. This Carter is very good at
Aside
suppressing
from being
everything,
snarky.
aside from being snarky, which I guess is what alternate Carter fell in love with. I don't know. But yeah, Kowalski's fun.
Yeah.
The goatees are fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's
I,
pretty. It's a good episode.
I would say this is the best episode of this batch. There's definitely there's like a lot of callbacks to this episode. Like they call back the brain blasting. They call back like that generator that they made. They call back to the previous episode with the Naquita generator, which helps them figure out how to work with this thing. I mean,
They
this
of
entire
course
episode
call
was a
back.
callback to that alternate universe episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a
It's
good
cool
bit
seeing
where
Kowalski again.
yeah,
It's always fun seeing Kowalski again.
there's
Like
there's
if
a
they
good
had,
bit.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say like there's a good bit where Daniel Jackson is like messing with the device, trying to dial like the right dimension, and it's just him going through the various, I guess, dimensions and finding something wrong with like each one.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's
And
good.
there's
it's
the
like,
one where
yeah,
it looks like it's basically the right one, and then he looks and it just says Captain Carter instead.
yeah.
And it's a
He's
major
like,
card. It's like,
oh,
oh, whoops, and he's like waves and waves at her. It just keeps going. Yeah.
And of
yeah,
course, you're having technical issues during the middle of a mission that involves interdimensional travel.
Don't you hate
yeah.
it when your interdimensional remote control doesn't work right?
You need an interdimensional IT person.
Is this where they basically say like the reason why he got back last time is that he just never turned it off?
Oh yeah, I guess so. Yeah, because they didn't have the remote control in I guess the main timeline, so the thing was always just on to or no, because it lost power right after that trip. They couldn't turn it back on.
Well, I think they couldn't turn it back on because they brought it. What I'm saying is, I think that what they explain this as is that it doesn't stay on the same universe, and you have to find that universe again unless you leave it on. So the implication there is when Daniel originally got sent back, is that it never turned off, and then when he came back to that area, he just went through it again.
Yeah, that's what happened, and then it turned off after that, which is why they haven't done any multiverse shenanigans
Yeah, up until
since
now.
then. Up until now, when someone dials in to their universe.
Hmm.
Which, yeah, I guess you really want to bury that fucking thing in concrete just to make sure that nothing else comes out of it.
I guess. But
Was
this was a fun episode.
yeah. Was this mirror another device they got from Machella, or did they get it from someplace else?
No, this was
This
that
was
season
something
one
else.
episode. You remember the
Oh,
first
they
part of
just
that like 5-parter?
wait. They just found the mirror like on this obscure planet, and
No idea where it came from or anything. They just found it
Yeah,
and
dude,
then
Daniel
this
just fell
carted
into
it
it.
back. Yeah, and just
this was
carted it back.
totally a Machello DARPA weapons cache. I'm calling it right now.
Sure, okay. I mean, I don't know why Michelle wouldn't have just like fucked off to another universe, but okay.
This is where you bring up that there's like a council of Machellos that all like hang out and exchange Gould killing ideas.
Oh, if only.
They just sit around and eat hamburgers and milkshakes at shitty diners.
With homeless people, yes.
If only Michello was the Stargate version of King the Conqueror, that would have been pretty good.
Yeah, it would have been all right.
It would have given Michael Shanks a lot more to do.
That's true. He's got enough to do anyways. But so actually, one of the things that I liked was when these people are trying to convince them like what's going on, what happened, the whole like, okay, yeah, I think they explain at one point. Jackson says like, no, this can't be those people because everyone there died, so this has to be another universe that's just similar enough,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then
And
when they
Also,
actually bring them in, because I guess they request amnesty, they want to stay there. Kowalski's reaction to seeing Teal'c made a lot of sense, right?
yeah, because Teal just
Yeah,
killed
He
everyone.
was dealing with Goatee Teal'c, who's a real piece of shit, as it turns out.
is that a
Yeah,
goatee? If it's just a little strip on your chin, I thought that was called something else. Because Apophis had the
Uh,
goatee.
well, yeah, like
I
full
guess
goatee.
full goatee, sure.
Yeah, I don't know what you call like the little chin
Chin
strip
chin
there.
strap.
No, I guess
no, chin
that's like going
strap goes the other
sideways.
way.
Yeah, it goes the other way.
Yeah,
Uh,
But
Speaking
it's
of
it's
which,
bad.
yeah,
it's it's not a good goatee.
yeah.
it's there
It-
to differentiate good Teal'c from evil Teal'c.
Yes.
Which it turns out the best way to differentiate good Teal'c from evil Teal'c is to just shoot evil Teal'c immediately.
Yeah. Yeah. So Teal'c's a real one, right? He's
Yeah.
a
Yeah,
real.
I think this is where he brings up. He's like, as I told you before, our dimension is the only one that matters. It's like I don't give a shit about this Teal'c. Fucking
Come to
zap
find out, Tilk is the only person that can kill Tilk.
I
Yeah.
guess. Like it's funny. He does give him a chance. He's like, "Hey, I will spare you if you turn against Apophis with us." And then I think Teal'c says one. The evil Teal'c says
Shoba.
one thing, and
He
and then
said
he just
Shoba,
shoots him.
and it's like okay, blah.
All right, I guess you'll die. And
Yeah,
Witch kind
man.
of looks at him like, "Did you just kill yourself?" Not the
Yeah, no.
important one.
Uh, Teal'c is actually very good at dealing with multiverse shenanigans because he doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, which I like to think this is the action that makes Kowalski think that Teal'c's an alright guy. It's like, you know what? You killed evil Teal'c. Good on you. You and I are buddies now.
Yeah, probably.
Because the end they salute each other, right? It's like that was kind of a cool little bit. Okay, so I'll bring this up now then, since we're done talking about Teal'c killing himself. Um, how did you guys like the interactions of alternate Carter between O'Neill and
I think
for
there's
that
a
purpose,
writer
this
somewhere who
Carter and Carter?
really. I think there's a writer somewhere who really wanted to dig into that, but didn't have time.
I mean, I think they do a good job digging into it.
They do. I'm glad they didn't dig into it any more than they did.
Yeah, it's
But
something that O'Neill gets involved in and really doesn't want to deal with.
well, yeah, because for him it's like a really awkward situation. It's like he doesn't know. Like this is a different purpose, different person, very similar to their Carter, but
But also
not the same.
different enough.
Mhm.
But also, she's it's pointed out at some point she's a major, he's a colonel, and it's not going to work because that's
It's military. Yeah.
condemned for a reason. Um, but
Yeah,
Yeah, like
I,
O'Neill has to correct alternate Kowalski. It's like, hey, if you didn't notice, she's a major in my universe. Okay, man.
Mhm.
Yeah, and Kowalski makes some makes some joke about that. But yeah, so very awkward for O'Neill and Carter. I think after the scene between O'Neill and alternate Carter, he's talking to like this Carter. I guess he's still weirded out. He's like, "Hey, how are you handling this whole situation?" And she goes, "Oh, do you have 2 hours?" He's like,
Yeah,
"Sure." She goes, "No, that's out. That's the answer. We're not dealing with this."
yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, okay."
Which is funny because he just got done dealing with the other Carter, who was basically just having like a her breakdown moment of like
Or crash out.
she thought
Yeah,
she'd be okay, but I mean that would have to be hard, right? Like you basically more or less.
oh
I don't think they outright say it, but for all intents and purposes, she knows that the person she married is dead. But to
yeah,
yeah, like
see
that
him
would definitely
again,
be emotionally really difficult for her.
yeah. But like, yeah, to
and
see someone who looks like him, talks like him, sounds like him,
snarks like
walking
him.
around,
But is
snarks
not
like him,
him.
yeah. Like that's got to be really difficult, and I think they actually do a good job exploring that. And they don't spend too much time on it either, which I appreciate. It's basically just like that section there in the middle and a little bit at the end where they kind of do some closure to it, right?
Oh yeah, because as they're leaving after everything's resolved, she just plants a kiss on him, and like they hold it there for a bit, and then Carter Prime is looking at that, and she's like, "You really in front of me? Okay."
Yeah. And I think at that point, even like alternate Carter is like, "You really aren't him, are you?" It's like, "Yeah, of course not."
Yeah, I guess.
And I still
if he
think that's a
kisses
good
wrong.
moment, even if it is a little weird. But it makes sense, right?
Hey, interdimensional relationships are difficult, okay?
And then Major Carter, like after he gets back, like I think Justin shared that screenshot.
Like that, you
He's
can't.
looking at him like, dude.
It's hard to see because it's kind of blurry. Even discounting the graininess of like this film because it was made for TV, it's hard to see. But you can tell that the actress is like her eyes are like all the way up in the corner, looking directly at O'Neill, and she's got her arms. I think she's got her arms crossed. Let me go look at it.
No,
And
it's not
her
crossed.
arms are behind her, but like the look is like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but like you could tell Amanda Tapping understood the assignment here. Is what I would say.
Yes.
Which is funny because like Amanda Tapping on the other side of the portal is the reason why this is happening. So it's kind of like, who are you angry with? Your alternate reality self? Like, what's going on here?
It's complicated.
The note I wrote down was Jack cheating on Sam with Sam.
But they're not in a relationship in the main
Yeah.
timeline yet.
Yeah.
Really, this is Sam cheating on Jack with Jack.
Oh, but her Jack's dead, so she's the
I mean, is
boy.
it cheating if the body's still warm?
It's like that argument from the TV show Friends where Ross slept with some other woman when he was technically on a break with Rachel, and
I don't
that
want
debate
to.
No, that's
never
not
got
what it's
settled.
like at all.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's not
Did
at all.
If you
Friends?
can argue
Does
about that,
Friends
then you
have
can
an
argue
episode
about
dealing
this.
with? Does Friends have an episode dealing with interdimensional shenanigans? I don't know. I've never had the
Oh,
displeasure.
totally.
I think at one point, what's his face has a goatee, so maybe.
Yeah. So that brings up another question I have. If you put an evil goatee on a character that's already evil, does that just make him more evil?
Yes.
No,
maybe.
No, really.
But the whole point of when you have an interdimension episode where the good character is now evil, you demonstrate that by putting a goatee on him. In this case, you put one on Apophis, a character we already knew that was evil. It's like they did it so like the people that were watching that episode without seeing earlier episodes was so that they can know that this guy was evil.
Are there any good characters who have a goatee?
In this show or in general?
Just in general, I can't think of many.
Captain Sisko from DS9. Moving on.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's like one.
Goatees look cheesy and
Worf has Lieutenant Commander Worf has a goatee.
Honestly, you can't tell half the time because
No, I mean
looking at a lot when you're looking at Worf.
No, it's Riker has a goatee. Oh, that's a full beard. Shit.
No, that's a full beard. He goes full
Full
beard.
beard. He goes full beard, as you should.
Yeah. You definitely don't want babyface Riker.
You don't want babyface Riker. You don't want that. But no, yeah, you can. It's always funny when you have an evil version of a character with a goatee because they're all referencing the same thing.
Maybe this is just evil or Apophis. Or maybe the actor just said, you got one of those fake goatees? By the way, this goatee looked cheesy as shit.
It's a really bad fake goatee.
It wasn't a good goatee. It wasn't a real goatee, first of all. It was really bad. Oh. It looked like they glued felt on his face at some scenes.
I don't know why they did that.
They just reused a merkin.
Dear viewer, if you don't know what a merkin is, Google it.
In an incognito tab, away from
No,
any
no,
sensitive eyes.
your main tab in public. Say it's your job.
Ask
On the
your
library
mom.
computer. On the school projector. Actually, oddly enough, I think almost every other time an alternate Apophis shows up, that he's got a goatee. Do you think that's just a rule they made? Like, you need to differentiate alternate Apophis with a goatee after?
Well, we
Sure.
will. We will get to Apophis. Apophis will appear in Avengers Doomsday.
Sure.
I think having Carter and Carter not get along with each other very well is funny.
I mean, they eventually get there, but yeah, at the start, it is kind of funny how they more or less like almost start a fight with one another. Like, I guess or the current universe Carter at one point says something that kind of insinuates like, well, me joining the military obviously helped us not get destroyed, and that really offended alternate Carter.
Yeah, the civilian alternate Carter. When really, like, the thing that helped not get destroyed is Daniel Jackson existing, because he's clearly the protagonist of this world.
Yeah. Though he does kind of play a backseat to this episode, other than the weird gate shenanigans.
Oh, yeah.
Or I guess
But no,
the weird
just
time dimension portal things.
but what's good when Kowalski walks into the room, looks at Dan's like, "Who the fuck are you?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hi, I work here."
Yeah. Just imagine like how weird of a day Kowalski was having. Just straight up like, well, I'm in an alternate universe where the guy who killed all my people is hanging out, and this doofus.
And I'm dead, and Carter's a major somehow.
This was our excuse to get Kowalski back.
It was.
Should they have
Yeah,
taken that?
They should have, because Kowalski's fun.
I feel like he would compete with Teal'c too much as the
As the strongman punch guy.
Yeah,
I don't know. I feel like there's a spot for potentially a spot for a male character that's not like Teal'c is just big strong guy, and Daniel Jackson is a very smart guy, and I don't know, like they're and O'Neill is a smart ass / the team leader.
Yeah, smart ass guy.
I think there's room for Kowalski to be in there, or he could be like a side character that shows up sometimes when they need a fifth member for something. That could be useful as a plot device.
He could be the Green Ranger.
Yeah, sure.
Kowalski as the Green Ranger. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
there have been occasions where a fifth member would be okay. Like,
yeah, which I feel like they were absolutely sort of setting up for this, but at the same time they're like, nope, never mind. Can't exist in the same reality, so you gotta send Carter back, and Kowalski's not gonna send her to die, so he's going back with her.
Alternate Kowalski can, because actual Kowalski is dead, so he doesn't have any of the weird effects.
Yeah, but I guess like I think at one point he just says like, no, if she's going back, I'm going back with her.
Yeah, which is understandable. That's understandable. I'm not saying like the way this is set up that makes the most sense, but also like there's a world here where you could have just kept Kowalski.
Yeah, it's just I guess it would have been something nice to have, but we don't have it, unfortunately. Like, I don't know what else to say.
Oh well.
Yeah, like I agree. Whenever Kowalski's around, it's usually a fun time.
Yeah.
Except for that one time when he died, that wasn't so fun. It's kind of a downer, actually.
Yeah.
Me. Especially when you get your like half your head fried off.
Yeah. And honestly, like one of the best episodes of the series that we've seen so far too. So it's not like I want to say like, oh, that was a bad thing, right? But
no, it was a good episode.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, this also a good episode. Just want to bring that up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very strong episode. And I appreciated the fact that in the middle of all this, we actually learned like the meaning behind an actual like Goa'uld word. Jack is asking Daniel, "What does the word Cree mean?" Because at this point we've heard it a million times. And he's like, "It's like attention or pay attention," and Jack's just like, "So it could technically mean you who?"
And
And
then Dan's like, sure.
it
Yeah.
it was just solid writing between Jack and Daniel in that small insignificant scene. It's the
Yeah,
little things, right?
it's another good small Jack Daniel moment,
Hmm.
which we get like every episode or every other episode, just like a good moment between the two of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, by the way, there are a lot of good like moments in this episode just between characters. Like honestly, a lot of the Kowalski stuff is good between Kowalski and O'Neill. Even the stuff between Kowalski and Teal'c. Uh, Even alternate Carter and O'Neill. Actually, there's one scene that I wanted to bring up specifically where I think at one point she's like explaining to Jack, it's like, you have to understand, you look exactly the same, you speak the same, all this stuff, right? And then he responds with something like, well, this brings to mind like the point, like, how could you marry such a loser? I thought that was a good line and very
Oh
funny.
yeah, that was good.
Like the self-deprecating humor there is a real good bit. But actually, this reminds me of another thing in this episode that I have a question for you all. So at one point, when they're all being held at gunpoint, or at this point, zap point, right? Apophis is interrogating them. They basically kill
Hammond.
alternate Hammond.
Yes.
And that,
Then he gets beamed up and then beamed down. He's perfectly fine. Yes.
yeah, but that isn't what I was bringing up, right? So the whole thing about the Zad is that the first one will knock you out. You ain't waking up anytime soon, right?
Supposed to be.
Uh,
yeah. They
yeah.
shoot
So
Daniel Jackson,
they shoot
and
Daniel
Daniel.
Jackson,
Listen.
and then they just
Daniel
kind of get him
Jackson.
up.
He passed his fortitude save.
Yeah, they
So
just kind
he
of pick
got
him up
back
and
up.
dust him off, and he's fine.
Yeah.
Did that annoy
Michael,
any of you guys?
listen. Michael Shanks hates the Zat so much that it crossed into the fiction, and he was
Yeah,
able
he
to just
just built up
shrug off the
resistance to it.
effects.
Can't zap me.
Yeah, the Zat does whatever you want it to. It turns out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
such a weird thing.
Uh, it's it's not very consistent. I mean, in one episode, it cured brainwashing. Well, actually, no, that happened twice. It happened with Tilk's son, and it happened in the Seth episode with that one dude's
Tommy.
son.
Tommy.
Yeah.
It happened with a lot of people in that episode. Pretty much everyone in that episode.
Oh, it can disable like intercontinental ballistic missiles.
It can
Yeah,
open a padlock. Remember?
sure.
Real Swiss Army knife of weapons. I
Very
mean, it could open a
useful.
padlock regardless if you just shoot the padlock 3 times.
Why
But-
3 times specifically? Is that a reference?
No,
No, because it'll disappear on the 3rd one.
Oh, god damn it.
But if you have a box of equipment you want to destroy in the back of a truck, if you shoot the boxes specifically, it'll just delete those with everything in it, but not the truck.
Yeah, it's fine.
But
It's very
not the
useful.
truck.
Mhm. It's all very good.
But anyway, so now they have overcome the multiverse. It's Stargate
Yes.
across the multiverse. They've overcome it. It's actually not hard. It's a skill issue.
Which
Anything else?
I think like them solving this problem for another Earth is very funny to me.
Because
like,
it's just like
especially
the Cyber
when-
Frieza thing again.
Yeah, especially with what's her face, Dr. Carter basically saying like, I already feel inadequate to you guys because like I couldn't save my Earth, but you did, and they're like, they've been there for what, a day, and they're like, we got the solution, baby.
I mean, to be fair, their solution was literally a Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah, which I guess in this universe, like the Asgard aren't busy.
I mean, if the days are there, you might as well ex machina them. You know.
You call God, you
That's
might
true.
as well call God.
Yeah.
Which happens to be a little gray man who calls himself Thor.
Yeah, which we don't see. I would love, you know what? I would have loved to see alternate Thor just show up with the goatee. Would have been a cool little bit.
For a second, I thought it would be a cool twist if the Asgard had shown up and they were evil. But nah, they just showed up and deleted everything and then left.
Mm-hmm.
Or just if Thor shows up and says, "Hey, I know what you're doing. Cut it out."
Which it doesn't make much sense for them to do, right? Because doesn't doing so upset whatever balance of power there is between the Gold and the Asgard at the time in that universe? Because in that universe, we did see the Asgard show up and delete some Gold before, but that was on
A protected
what
planet.
was that planet? Yeah, that was on a protected planet. The Asgard already had a treaty over that planet. There's no treaty over Earth, so them showing up and interfering, that's got to be sparking something, right?
Well,
This is
who
what I
knows?
say. That Thor must have had a goatee. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Oh, he's chaotic neutral Thor.
Chaotic neutral Thor. Yeah, just like fuck these guys.
He's like, yeah, I haven't deleted anyone in a while. I'll just make sure the ray still works.
Also, apparently, we could revive people. It's fine.
Don't worry
Yeah.
about
I thought it would have been. They can't do it because TV, but I thought it would have been pretty happy. I mean, not pretty happy, pretty funny. My brain is broken. Pretty funny if
Hey.
that last guy old trying to run through the Stargate, it had just closed on him and chopped him in half. I don't know that one.
Oh, that's right. Like it
that'll
does
be
sort of
tragic.
close on him, and the end of his staff falls down.
Yeah, I
It
was
was just
thinking it was
him.
gonna I think it's gonna be like his leg or something, but nah, it's just the staff.
Hey
If
guys,
this was like a movie, that's what would have happened.
If he
They
had just
had
like, if he just dived through it and it would have closed halfway through and his legs would have just went flying. Anyway,
He's just that guy
Uh,
from the Resident Evil
God.
remake that you pull through the gate, the grate.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
so consider
Anyway,
this: if you put a goatee on a Zat and you shoot somebody 3 times, does it bring them back to life?
Are you gonna
All right,
Photoshop his
maybe.
goatee onto a Zat?
Maybe
I
that's how
just
they
might.
got Hammond back.
anyway, it appears that we're done with this
Yeah.
episode.
Are we? Yes,
Yes,
probably.
we
Though
are.
I do want to say one quick thing. I think it's very funny how when Teal'c was impersonating his evil version of himself, he was basically just constantly yelling at people like, "Hey, look at me! Hey, look at me!" and then them getting shot, like completely letting people get away, and everyone acting all confused as to what's going on. All very good.
Yes, he does not bother with kayfabe. Okay, so now that we are through these episodes, that's it for this installment. And next time we come back, it'll be for episodes 7 through 10 of season 3. And those will be Dead Man Switch, Demons, Rules of Engagement, and Forever and a Day. I like 3 of these.
Great.
One of these is an episode where Daniel Jackson does, not Daniel Jackson, where Teal'c does something.
Well,
He
we'll
does-
see. We'll see next in 2 weeks.
We'll see in 2 weeks.
Mhm.
So that has been it from us. Does anyone want to plug anything?
I know I can say once again, I'm streaming once again every once in a while at twitch.tv/Jatsu84. If you want to see me play games, I show up there sometimes. That's pretty much it. Enjoy your gaming.
Yes, enjoy your gaming, gamers. Listen to this gaming podcast.
Mhm.
Speaking of which, this has been a Deep Listens network podcast, as part of the Deep Listens family of podcasts. The main show, again, Deep Listens, is like a video game book club hosted twice a month by, I guess, the main crew of Deep Listens. I'm going to keep saying Deep Listens. There's also once a month Off the Deep End, a show about crusty old RPGs. I'm on that sometimes, being crusty and old. There's also some sports podcasts every once in a while, including the Amateur Hour.
Crusty. You aren't nearly crusty and old enough for some of the RPGs they're gonna play.
That is true. There are sports podcasts every once in a while, including the Amateur Hour about football with myself, Tyler, and Gino from the main podcast, the main Deep Listens podcast.
All people who have lost to
And
me in fantasy football.
uh,
At least you
anyway,
didn't have to suffer for it.
anyway, there's also a ranking of deck builders thing and a occasional Final Fantasy podcast. I'm not on those, whatever. And there's also a Patreon where for $1 a month you can join the Discord and tell us all how we're wrong about Stargate or video games, or visit the food channel and see the horrors, or anything really. But if you donate at $3 a month on the Patreon, you get access to the OG Soncast, which is a podcast about 25, 30-year-old anime, hosted by Chris, Braden, and Pete from the Off the Deep End and Deep Listens podcast. It's probably good. I haven't listened to it. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so definitely give Deep Listens your money on Patreon.
Yeah. Give your money away.
Yes,
to
give your
these
money
people.
away to Deep Listens specifically.
Mhm.
All right, so that's going to be it from us. Goodbye, Internet.